What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. This just came in off the wire a couple hours ago. Slava Fetisov of Soviet Olympic fame, who was one of the first players to come over to North America, didn't come over to the NHL until he was 31, and then went on to win a couple cups in Detroit. Wants to keep Russian players in Russia until they're 28 years old. This is ridiculous. This is, first of all, it's hypocritical because he pissed, moaned, and complained about wanting to come over and play for the Devils earlier in his career. He didn't get the chance till he was 31, so now he's going to take it out on these kids. Whether it's an Evgeny Malkin or an Alex Ovechkin, both of whom were playing over here when they were 20. And, regardless of the geographical location of the league, the NHL is the best league in the world. I want to see those guys playing against the best players in the world. Am I biased because I want to see them play on the same continent I live on? Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? This is the best league in the world, and the fact that the Russian government wants to stop these players from coming over here, first of all, earning a good living. Not that the KHL is, actually, no, the KHL is going belly up. There's no guarantee your checks aren't going to bounce. You could sign for $1 billion friggin' rubles, but until that money's in your bank account, it ain't worth the paper the check's printed on, or I'm sure they use direct deposit. Actually, I don't know. Do they have direct deposit in Russia? That's legitimate. My economic majors, go look that up for me. But, this is ridiculous. I'm really upset with Fetisov because I always looked at him as one of the guys that was, instrumental in getting Soviet players or Eastern European players to come over to North America and and play in the NHL. And you look at how many of these young Russian kids come over and play in even junior hockey. Whether it's a Yakupov or a Shvetnikov or whoever. Shvetnikov playing for Cape Breton right now, the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles. These kids deserve the opportunity to play where they want to play. And Fetisov, who's now a politician, a congressman, a senator in Russia, wants to enact legislation to keep these players, your country's best natural resource, if you will, in Russia. And I know Putin wants to go back to the Cold War days, but my God, it's bad when you try to keep your athletes from coming over here. And you think about what having Russian hockey players does, and you appreciate different nationalities on different NHL teams, but it also, I can remember one of the guys who come up a few years ago, one of the Russian players. I looked up, I didn't recognize the town in Russia, Googled it, it's from like Siberia. I ended up reading for like an hour about different cultural customs in Siberia. It made me a little more aware of that culture and that part of the world. And I get that's kind of a stupid thing, but it's a Russian sphere of influence, if you will. I want to see the best players in the world competing in the NHL, and shame on Slava Fetisov and Russia for wanting that, for wanting the opposite of that. Excuse me. And we'll see what happens. I think nothing's going to come of it. I just think, it's a lot like, even to harp on Russian politics, I like Putin. I think he's a blowhard. I think, if someone stands up to him, he's going to back down. We just need someone to stand up to him. So, again, I'm not going to make too much of this, but I just think the mere notion that someone who worked so hard and tirelessly to get to North America, to play for the New Jersey Devils, to ultimately win a couple Stanley Cups with the Red Wings, trying to block other players from doing that is almost, it's sad. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got. Some sort of the Power Play with CJ on Slava Fetisov, epitomizing hypocrisy. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.